this storm. And we'll talk more about those details in a second when Kevin Guthrie gets up here. We want you to make sure you have the most up-to-date information, and we have several tools to help with that. You can first and foremost is download the My Pasco app, where you'll get notifications of things like this and some of the other media releases that we put out. The second one is on our Pasco County website. That's pascocountyfl.net. And then you can also connect to us on social media, on our Facebook, Twitter feeds. And then if you have questions about what's going on and you need to go to somebody at Pasco County, our customer service line is available, and that is 727-847-2411. And that's open till tonight at 5, and then again tomorrow morning first thing. And those hours may vary depending on what track the storm takes, but right now we're not expecting anything outside the ordinary. So with that, I will turn it over to Kevin Guthrie, and he can go into a little more details about what we have going on.
All right, thank you, Dan. All right, again, Kevin Guthrie, Assistant County Administrator of Public Safety, and as County Administrator's already reported, subtropical storm Alberto is has formed in the Western Caribbean Sea. And what does that mean for Pasco County? It's going to be a rain event for us. We're looking at a pretty significant rain event. We're seeing, depending on what weather outlet you look at, anywhere from 3 to 5 inches to 5 to 7 inches of rain. And again, I think it's very important for people to monitor us closely, because that 2 or 3 miles one way or the other in the track of this storm could have some significant difference. Right now, the National Weather Service is calling for us to have potential 40-mile-an-hour winds right on the edge of the beaches and the nature coast. But again, one mile shift will put that right along the US 19 corridor. So again, please just monitor us over the weekend, and we'll let you know exactly what's going on and what protective measures you need to take. As far as protective measures that we're doing right now, we are opening up officially 2 sandbag locations. Those 2 sandbag locations are going to be at the Magnolia Valley Golf Course, Magnolia Valley Golf Course Clubhouse, located at 7223 Massachusetts Avenue, Newport Richey. We're also going to open up a location out on the east side of our county at what is referred to as a Sea Barn, and that's at 30908 Warder, and that's W-A-R-D-E-R Road in San Antonio. I was also just advised that the city of Newport Richey is going to open up their own sandbag location. I will tell you that the county locations that are being run by the county, they will be 24/7, and they will be self-service only. At this point in time, we do not have Sheriff's Office inmate crews at either of those locations. They're solely going to be self-service and available to the public. The city of Newport Richey, you can, again, with their sandbags, you can also get that information on our website. It's my understanding they are not going to be 24/7 operation. But again, go to our website for the latest information. Let's talk a little bit about sandbags. I've seen over the last, now this being my 3rd tropical cyclone event in Pasco County in the last 2 years, people have a misunderstanding about sandbags. People only need to sandbag their entryways and exit ways of their homes. So around the garage, around garage doors, around their front door, their back doors, sliding doors, and things of that nature. You do not need to put sandbags around your entire home. All right, so again, protect the entryways, exit ways of the home, the garage door, any side garage doors that you may have on your home. Just build up those sandbags there. As far as local actions from a county perspective, if you flood when it rains, expect that you're going to flood during this event. That is going to happen. So we do have pump crews out right now, as a matter of fact, that are pumping down everything that they can possibly pump down and get well ahead of the storm. We've had a significant amount of rain over the last 7 to 10 days, and the public works crews are doing a fantastic job of keeping things pumped down. We've had no reports of flooding so far in any of our areas, and we hope it stays that way. But again, we know that the rain is going to start coming faster and in heavier amounts. So they are on standby. They're available 24 hours a day starting today, and if we need them, we will call them. Also, fire rescue public safety crews are starting tomorrow. We're going to put some extra staff on duty to operate our high water vehicles and our John boats in case we need to take some people out of harm's way. Again, I believe the Sheriff's Office is also taking a similar posture. This is it's May 25th, and we're getting ready to officially start hurricane season with this subtropical storm. Official hurricane season starts on June the 1st, but I want to remind everybody this is the time to prepare. We don't need to run out and fill up our gas tanks and buy copious amounts of water and things of that nature. But again, this is a good time to, a general reminder, it's time to prepare. It's time to get your kit together, your important insurance papers, and things that you just cannot replace. Make sure that you know where they're at and you can put your hands on them quickly if you should be asked to evacuate. Again, have a plan. Where are you going to go? Who are you going to stay with? If you're going to go to a shelter, as 30-some-odd thousand people participated in shelters in Pasco County last year, they will all tell you it is not a hotel. It is, sleep on a concrete floor. You may or may not have power. It's definitely not the best of situations to be in. But again, if you're going to end up going to a shelter, make sure you have your shelter supplies and things of that nature. In your supply kit, of course, you should have flashlight, batteries, cash, as ATM machines may not work after the fact, first aid supplies, plenty of medications on hand, copies of your critical information, as I've already mentioned. Again, the best way to follow us and the best way to get information from us is to stay in touch with us via our social media outlets and our website. So again, the My Pasco app that's available at the Google Play Store as well as on iTunes. You can follow us on Twitter accounts through the Office of Emergency Management at Pasco County. You can follow us through the county's Twitter account, Facebook pages. We have a number of ways for you to follow us and keep in touch with us, and that is truly the single best way to get information from us in a timely manner. Again, I'm going to reiterate that we will have a weekend call-in center manned and staffed starting at 8 o'clock in the morning. We do not know what the permanent hours are going to be on that for Saturday and Sunday. We're just going to kind of play that by ear so that we're conscious of taxpayer dollars and not spending frivolously as far as individuals working overtime. So we're going to start at 8 o'clock, and then the call volume will dictate how much we keep that staffed in, if we need to scale it down or ramp it up. So, but they will be available starting at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's my vision that we probably will be up and running till sometime in the afternoon, again, depending on calls. And that phone number again is 727-847-2411, 727-847-2411. So with that being said, both the county administrator and myself will take any type of questions that you may have, if you have any at all.
Kevin, any areas of particular concern? I know low-lying areas, ELFers, that sort of thing. Are any urging to the folks in those areas that normally, like you said, see flooding?
Yeah. So again, as I said earlier, if your area tends to flood and it's flooded historically, it's going to flood again. We're going to be looking at that. I think also something that you bring up when you talk about Elfers Parkway, folks in Pasco need to remember that when we have an event like this, we don't necessarily see the worst of it for a few days after the fact. So by the time all the well fills collect all of that water and then start to move it to the tributaries and the Anclote River and the the Cody River, we start to see it maybe 3-4 days after the fact. So again, we're going to see flooding where we normally see flooding. The central part of the county has already had quite a bit of rain. Our fire chief actually lives in Land O'Lakes, and he's got a weather system at his house, and he's already had over 5 inches of rain just in the central portion of the county. So we've seen a lot of inundation in that central portion of the county. We expect to see even more. So again, just stay tuned to us. We'll let you know what to do. And but no, this is going to be an event that's probably going to last about a week, because we've already been we were just notified on a phone call with the National Weather Service that they're telling us that when this is all said and done, it's going to keep raining. So we're going to be receiving rain in Pasco County probably until the later part of next week.
And the ground saturation is obviously going to be an issue because the water has no place to go.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a lot of storage. That's something the county administrator and myself were talking about earlier today. We had a lot of storage. We were very, very dry. And right now, we haven't had a big issue because the rain's been coming down in amounts that we've been able to take and store and recover. And definitely not an engineer, I know he is, but you know, we've been able to keep up with what we've been getting. We do know that in the coming days, that's probably not going to be the case. We're probably going to get more rain in an amount of time that we can actually recover from. So that's going to end up being an issue.
Yeah. So yesterday afternoon, me and my Assistant County Administrator for Public Infrastructure, Mike Karbala, took the opportunity to drive around most of the areas on the west side of the county where we do experience flooding, even after non-significant events in late summer. And for the most part, there's storage available. But again, we've already had, as Kevin mentioned, several inches of rain over the last 7 to 10 days that we normally would not have seen yet in this part of the year. And so we have pumps staged, we've cleaned out some ditches in some areas, and so we think we're prepared. But again, with the right amount of rain, it's still going to overwhelm some of those areas where we traditionally see flooding after significant events. We've opened up BMP 1 on the Duck Slough area to try to get ahead of that in the Thousand Oaks area, put some pumps out there to try to pump that down a little bit to get ahead of it. But even with that said, there becomes an amount of rain that we can't keep up with. I mean, right now we think we have enough storage in the system, but if we get 7 to 10 inches over the next 7 to 10 days, it's going to overwhelm some of that.
So we're prepared, but you don't think we're going to be in trouble?
Well, ask the National Weather Service, really. I mean, the forecasters can tell that better than we can. Based on what we're seeing, it looks like it's really going to be a rain event for us. And we look like, since we're early in the season, we probably still have some storage in the system. But we're going to continue to watch it. We have crews monitoring it daily that go out and make the rounds through these systems and watch what's going on, make sure there's no blockages that they can't get to right away. But again, as Kevin mentioned, sometimes there's a lag on some of these things, like especially the Elfers Parkway. Even with everything we do, if there's flooding in that area, we probably won't see it until later next week, just because of the way the system works, and it will come from the upstream areas. So, we think we're ready. There's a little storage left in the system. We're going to watch it as we go through this storm event. But even with that, it could be overwhelmed. It just kind of depends on what the rain patterns do to us.
Yep. And the only thing I'll add to that is, we've got crews that go out and check all of our flood gauges on a day-to-day basis, and right now we're showing nothing in flood stage. So again, it's showing that we have, to reiterate Dan's point, it's showing that we have capacity to take on more water at this point in time. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.